You know what pisses me off? The fact that we're all sitting here trading and complaining and thinking about Lambos and getting rich in this market, right? In the stock market. It's supposed to be a free market. It's marketed as a free market. Gary Gensler has been tooting his horn for the last year nearly, and not shit has changed for the better other than data transparency and things of that nature that no one's looking at. Now, with that data transparency that comes out, you start to see things. And when you see these things, it raises more questions that no one is asking. Now, let me ask this. If you go to the OCC's website, this is the Options Clearing Corporation. They clear every options contract that goes through the market for the most part. They also run an alternative trading system as well, but that's another story. But as far as data, from a data perspective, they are required by law to list a full directory of the products that they list. Now, this product list is going to be contained with every ticker that you could possibly get and put into a portfolio. And we're going to download that right now. And what I'm going to show you is what needs to be asked, because, again, no one is asking about this. No one's even talking about this. And it's absurd. So what I've just done, I downloaded the full directory. This is a text file that it created. This is every product that they offer. As you can see, it's enormous. You have everything under the sun. You have flex options in here. You have Asian flex options. Everything under the sun. So we're going to copy this by hitting Control A. It's going to select all. We're going to copy it. We're going to go to Excel. This is how easy you can prove this shit. This is from the industry. This data is from the industry. I'm not pulling it out of my ass like everyone you see on Twitter. This is legitimate data. Now, I'm going to paste this data, and I'm going to highlight this column, which is going to be the ticker list for every listed product that we just saw, that I just downloaded, that's currently available and listed in the United States and United States stock market. So let's go ahead and take a look. Total count, 6,778 tickers. Now, this number, keep in mind, wouldn't you agree? This is the most positions you could have, because if you own 6,778 positions, you own the entire directory of listed products that the OCC offers. So now, you go back to Vanguard's positions, and what do you see? What do you see? They have 4,635 positions. Now, I don't know about you, but if we just do some simple math here, and we take 4635, we divide it by 6778, one player, just one, owns 68% of the entire market. And by the way, I want to just show you, this is not just Vanguard, it's Fidelity and BlackRock as well, as you could probably imagine. I wanted to show you how much companies they just bought again this year in February, similar to what they did last year. Let's take a look. And keep in mind, these are going to be 13Gs. Now again, a 13G, all it is not confusing at all. The 13G, what it means, it's just a filing that must be disclosed after an entity such as Vanguard purchases or owns 5% or more of a company. Now, this is where it gets interesting with legal loopholes and all that shit, because we saw they own about 4,600 positions. Now, look how much positions they purchased and picked up in February. So, again, 5% or more of the company has been acquired via 13G. It's not that's the only difference from a 13F. It's not filed quarterly. It's filed if it's changed, if they add more shares, if it's amended. That's why you see the /A. It just means it's a 13G that's been amended, as in they've added more shares. But if it's just a 13G, it's a new one. Or if it's green highlighted on Fintel, that's an indication that it's a new position. But that's not really important. The important part is how many of these mofos they have. So this is all February 10th of this year. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit Control F, and I'm just going to type in 2022-02-10, and it's going to count up how many they purchased for each day. Now, on the 10th of January, I put the wrong month in, they bought 17 positions worth of a 13G. So they bought, between these 17 companies, they picked up 5%, at least 5% of all of these companies. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 9th, because last year, around the same exact time, you can go look yourself, I'll link this below, they did the same thing. Now, we're 2022-02-09. They picked up, on one trading day, 801 companies. 801 companies. So you tell me, why are we running around? Why do we even have a SEC if there are 3 players? Because remember, this is not just Vanguard. It's BlackRock, Fidelity, and Vanguard. Fidelity has about the same amount as Vanguard does. That's the wrong BlackRock. I mean, their portfolio AUM which is assets under management, is $3.9 trillion. I mean, it's such a big amount of data that the website can't even load it fast enough. So okay, so BlackRock has 5,774 positions out of 6778. .2% of the entire directory of listed products by the Options Clearing Corporation is owned by BlackRock. And no one's talking about it because they all care about Will Smith and a slap and, other shit that's irrelevant. And look when it all happened. Do you remember what happened in July? It's all about the repo. Like I've been saying for the last year almost, thanks to Hi-Ho Silver. Which, by the way, brother, hope you're doing all right. Shout out to you. I know you're going through some shit. Hope you're all good, my friend. But, again, there's nothing in history that ever compares to this. I'm going to keep saying this until someone else wakes the fuck up and realizes what the fuck's going on here. This doesn't just happen. And now, in July, why you saw that institutional ownership jump here in July, this literally their portfolio value just completely skyrocketed to all ins in mid-July, because there's a reason for that. There's reasons for all of this shit. July permanent repo facility. Okay. So, yeah, while they were doing the repo last year in April, May, at the same time they discussed designing a possible standing repo facility, which basically complements the reverse repurchase facility, and it's the opposite end. It allows them to create a corridor of monetary policy, and, I mean, that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing. And they've been saying the market's free. It's not free. They're building for the future while hiding all the shit they've done, and they're, it's absurd. But this is what they have to do. So, are the intentions nefarious? I don't know. I don't think that can be proven. I think the intentions are to get you to not look at this at all whatsoever, because then that will start raising the questions of the intentions. We all just assume they're negative because of what we hear on the media that's owned by these fucking people, and what we hear going around on social media, which is complete bullshit. It's just everyone on Twitter Spaces on a kumbaya just reminding each other of how much shit they don't know because they don't take the time to learn anything. Which, again, that's nothing against people. I get it. It's a lot easier to just sit and talk about shit, but
if you really want to know what's going on, you gotta look at this shit that's going on. This is, you can verify. I'm not making this shit up. You can go here to this link, which literally gives you the 13G. And it tells you this is a legitimate document. You can go through every single one if you would like and verify it. But this is legitimate. But again, I mean, it's hilarious that no one sees this. It's honestly, I mean, I'm just kind of beyond, it's beyond reason at this point. It's a free market, all right? But yeah, 85% owns all this. And the problem may not be that this is even occurring. This likely is the reason why the market hasn't crashed yet. So, again, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to trade how you're trading today if it wasn't for these people. But at the same time, they're doing shit like this with no answers. And only misinformation going around. Because there's no reason to tell you the truth. Because what are you going to do with it? It's just going to cause a problem for them. They want you in the dark. So you can keep, thinking that feelings and emotions are going to influence the market. That's never going to happen. They've literally designed it so that can never happen. So, it doesn't matter how big your space gets. It doesn't matter how big your group is or whatever. As long as what you're saying, I mean, it's got to be educational. If you're not teaching people, then you're wasting everyone's fucking time. Because, again, these are real dollars that people work for that would like to see it grow. And if you're not legitimately trying to help someone do that, then you're just as bad as the people you claim to fight against. Because they could, for all we know, they could be trying to fix shit. We don't know. We all just assume it's negative. But from what I understand, we wouldn't even be here without these people. So it's a double-edged sword. You can't have it both ways. So that's why I'm just kind of in the middle. Just saying I don't trust them. I don't know their intentions, so I'm not going to assume their intentions. I'm just going to sit here and utilize the data that's available and try to paint a clear picture, which that is what is amazing and why it is so great to be here, is because that is what's becoming available more and more every single day. There's more data that comes out. There's more information that you can get, and it's all about where to get it, how to get it, because that's where you learn. That is how you keep up to date with what they're doing, because they are required to tell you, to a certain extent, what they're doing. And you would be very surprised if you would look back in hindsight last year and look and see all of the shit that was incorrectly disseminated to the public in the form of social media content. It's absurd. The point is not to get angry about it. The point is to say, okay, well, lesson learned. Let's go learn shit, Brandon. That's not political, by the way. It's just funny. But anyways, you got to go look at this stuff. I mean, it's out there. And it's, when you start doing it, you start to feel good about it, because you're like, oh my God, I just figured this out on my own because I took a little bit of time out of my day to go and look at something. And not, just rely on the information being told to me by somebody else who likely just took that from someone else and continued the chain. So at some point, you just got to take the reins, man. It's all fucking out there. All of this shit. It's not hard. If you know how to operate a computer and the internet, which I know most of you do, you should have no issues getting this down. And by the way, the best place to start is look up how to read the documents, how to read the documentation. Because once you figure that out, you're going to be a beast at figuring everything out. Because that's literally all it's about. But anyway, this rant's over. I got baked for a second. And my wife's not here, so I got bored. So I figured, why not? You have a good one.